The Prophecy, the 1995 film starring Christopher Walken, Elias Koteas, Virginia Madsen, and Eric Stoltz. Although some aspects of this film feel dated, the movie as a whole still holds up today. Personally, it's one of the best religious-based horror films out there. Heavy spoilers follow, so you've been warned. Thomas Daggett, played by Koteas, a Catholic seminary student, loses his faith when he sees a vision of war between angels. Now, years later, Thomas is a detective with the LAPD. Two angels arrive on Earth, Simon and Uziel. Simon, played by Stoltz, briefly enters Thomas's home and warns him of upcoming events. Simon, upon arriving back at his apartment, is attacked by Uziel, a lieutenant of the Archangel Gabriel. Uziel is killed in a fight with Simon. Thomas is called to investigate the disturbance. He finds in Simon's apartment the obituary of a recently deceased Korean war veteran, Colonel Hawthorne, and a thesis about angels which Thomas himself wrote in the seminary. Meanwhile, in Chimney Rock, Arizona, Simon finds Hawthorne awaiting burial and sucks his soul out of his body. Thomas visits the morgue and the medical examiner informs him that Uziel's body has no eyes, both sex organs, and the blood chemistry of an aborted fetus. His personal effects include an ancient handwritten Bible with an expanded Book of Revelation that describes a second war in heaven, and a prophecy that a dark soul will be found on Earth and used as a weapon. Gabriel arrives on Earth. Needing a human helper, Gabriel awakens Jerry, a young man who recently committed suicide. Gabriel tasks Jerry with retrieving Uziel's belongings from the police station while Gabriel destroys his body in the morgue. Finding Hawthorne's obituary, Gabriel and Jerry head for Chimney Rock. Before Gabriel arrives at the local reservation, Simon hides Hawthorne's soul in a little Native American girl. This may be one of the most disturbing scenes in the movie. Now, we've already seen how the dead soul transfer happens, and the dialogue between Simon and Mary makes it seem way too Catholic sex scandal. Anyway, Mary immediately falls ill and is cared for by her teacher, Catherine. After finding the burnt remains of what used to be Uziel's body in the morgue, Thomas decides he needs to go to Chimney Rock. Gabriel and Jerry arrive at the cemetery where Colonel Hawthorne is buried. When Gabriel realizes Hawthorne's soul is missing, he finds and confronts Simon. Hawthorne's soul will tip the balance to whichever side possesses it, and a win for the rebellious angels will turn heaven into hell. Gabriel tortures Simon, but he refuses to reveal its location, so Gabriel rips out his heart, killing him. Mary's starting to show signs of possession by Hawthorne, draws war scenes in crayon, recounting incidents from Hawthorne's war experiences. Meanwhile, Thomas examines Simon's remains and questions Catherine. While investigating Hawthorne's home, he finds evidence of war crimes. Thomas visits a church to reflect on everything that he's found and is shaken by a verbal confrontation with Gabriel. Back at the school, Catherine finds Gabriel questioning the children. She has a confrontation with Gabriel and forces him and Jerry to leave. Thomas explains to Catherine that the angels want Hawthorne's soul for their war. Catherine takes Thomas to a abandoned mine where they find angelic script and both experience a terrible vision of the angelic war. Returning to Mary, they find Gabriel and Jerry. Gabriel tells him that he needs that soul and will rip Mary apart to retrieve it. A fight breaks out and Thomas kills Jerry, who thanks him before dying. Gabriel, now pissed, attacks Thomas. Catherine distracts Gabriel when her gunshot misses and blows up Mary's trailer home. Seemingly leaving Gabriel for dead, spoiler alert, he's not. The two officers who took him away find that out the hard way. Apparently Chimney Rock doesn't have an ambulance or even body bags. If they come across a dead body, they just toss it into the back of a squad car and off they go. They take Mary to a Native American site to be exorcised, but not before she gives them some insight into the defensive properties of the area. Gabriel enters a hospital and recruits a new unwilling assistant, Rachel, just as she dies of a terminal illness. Lucifer, played by Viggo Mortensen, confronts Catherine and tells her that other angels have taken up this war against mankind, and since then, no human souls have been able to enter heaven, but hell is still open. He knows Gabriel's plan to use Hawthorne's soul to overthrow the obedient angels. He He also knows that if Gabriel wins the war under his influence, heaven will ultimately become another hell, which Lucifer considers.
I'm not here to help you, little bitch, because I love you or because I care for you, but because 2 hells is 1 hell too many. And I can't have that.
Lucifer then appears to Thomas and advises him to use Gabriel's lack of faith against him. When Gabriel arrives and attempts to disrupt the exorcism, Thomas is ready for him. Thomas then taunts Gabriel about God's loss of love and jealousy for humans. Gabriel starts to make his way back to the exorcism. Thomas jumps into his truck to chase him down. Rachel breaks the glass and attacks from the back of the truck, which causes Thomas to crash into where Mary's exorcism is being held. Rachel dies from this crash, which is unfortunate. Rachel was played by Amanda Plummer. I really would have loved to see more scenes with her and Christopher Walken. Lucifer appears, encouraging the natives to complete the exorcism. Lucifer confronts Gabriel, telling him that his war is based upon arrogance, which is evil, making it Lucifer's territory. Lucifer tells Gabriel he needs to go home and rips his heart out. Simultaneously, Mary expels out Hawthorne's soul, and a bright light from heaven appears and destroys it. Lucifer asks Thomas and Catherine to come home with him, but they refuse.
I love you more than Jesus.
Ugh, creepy. Lucifer drags Gabriel to hell. As the morning comes, Thomas comments on the nature of faith and what it means to truly be human. The highlights of this movie are any scene Christopher Walken is in. Walken and Adam Goldberg, while short, were some of the funniest scenes in an otherwise dark movie. Mortensen's portrayal of Lucifer should be on everyone's top 10 list of best movie adaptations of Lucifer. Mortensen's devil is as charming as he is dangerous, spouting out one-liners. While the movie has its faults, it was good enough to start a franchise. This one is the only one that ever had a theatrical release. The plot device of War in Heaven has been seen in recent years in such films as Legion and Gabriel, but most famously in the TV series Supernatural. If you missed out on this film, it's a recommended classic, and I definitely think you should check it out.